Blah. I was speaking on EarthCam. I haven't started EarthCam again. My computer froze. I think it's because this little laptop I have that I bought secondhand, it comes with a Clean Your Mac pop-up ad, and it's very annoying. I can't make it go away, so it comes up intermittently, and I believe it wiped out my recording because I couldn't save it, and then it froze my computer, so I had to restart it. And that's sufficiently annoying because it's not like I really own my computer. The ad agency does. Um, anyway, I was speaking on EarthCam and preparing a video at the same time where I was updating what I've been up to and regarding teeth and as a priority and thoughts going forward. Um, shoot, wish I had the last video because I don't want to go through all of that again. The nuance, I could hit the highlights. Um, I wanted to reiterate that I'm not going to ask for a codependent hand, CO hyphen dependent hyphen. I'm not going to ask for a codependent hand. And I've chosen my value to love myself, okay? And you need to do the same with the same value, okay? Value to value, EWEID. Um, I spoke about the men's frame under the law for the people under God, ea.ven. To me, this is a collusion of character. It looks like it's strong, but the men didn't love themselves, okay, and follow through. Another reason why I'm not asking for a codependent hand. I produce this value without eros, and I don't think having a hand from someone I'm meant to be romantic with is going to make it better. In the sense, we've got work to do to get follow through, sustainability with each other, okay? Um, Another reason I wouldn't ask for a codependent hand is I believe it's the woman's emotions that the men would want to step forward on. But I'm like thinking, you need to bring your own emotion. You need to love yourself and know that you're worthy, and you need to choose you, to do with you, and to do with we, WEID. Okay, and find your sustainability and your desire, and understand what's necessary. I was speaking. I was speaking about. It's never easy or fun doing this the second time. um, my teeth. Speaking about my teeth. I have a root canal to get ready for. It has referral pain, meaning I have an abscess down here that's not on the x-rays. In Canada, they found it. I believe it's because of the nasal nerves and facial nerves that the pain is referral or transferent. So I have a root canal in tooth number 2. It looks like number 1 because wisdom tooth was removed, and but it's coming from tooth 31. It's dead in my mouth and has an abscess. Okay. Sorry, I don't have the nuance. I mean, I could try and remember it, but I'm not even speaking to anyone live right now because I haven't started the EarthCam broadcast. I just wanted to hit the high points, where I am, why that is. Got a sore spot on my elbow. Like I banged it or something, but I don't recall banging it. Shit. Highlights. I've had a lot of conversations with people shooting the shit, but it doesn't make me feel good because I know it's not going to go anywhere. Also, in terms of any yet thing, tin in the hand and hinge, okay? The example, given, even, okay? Let's see, I brought up, if you get rid of even, okay, you don't have even, you have ea.ven, V-A-I-N, that again, okay? Where you're all in the red, okay? I have surmised that I need to wear my own face of value, which is actually a nice face. And I'm looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to getting rid of this smarmy emotional content that does not support me. It's a waste of my time, okay? I've got a life to live, a real one, a real heal. RHEALLTHD, okay? And I would think that you do too, and I would hope that you do too, and that you would want to, and the show you do. Do with you, okay? EID. All right? Let's see. So I need to stop looking at ea-RT because that just makes me angry. No two ways about it, okay? I see that a divestment is necessary to be able to get in the zone of honoring your own life. HD, honor the head as the donor, okay? Even. Rêve, R-E-V, that's the dream in French. I believe it also means it weighs and survey in some other Latin languages. Surveys the dream it weighs, okay? In review. What else? Those are the highlights without any of the little nuances and little stories in reflection. And I wish I had the first video that I did. But you can thank Mac ads for intercepting it for their whim, Z, seat, and teat, hyphenated, okay? If I want an update, I know where to find it. I will go seek it and I will find it. I don't need it holding my theoretical computer hostage after I've paid for it. Okay, it's use, not to advertise on me whimsically. Forever. Okay. Noise. It's the middle of the night or really, really early in the morning. I was asleep and I realized I had some meta and I didn't want to wait. So when I shot the video and I produced the video yesterday evening, and then my computer froze and I thought the video was erased because I didn't save it. So I shot another one, which is short and just hits the highlights of the first one. But then I found that my computer did save it. On my other computer, I have to manually save it. My laptop, well, I was glad to see that it saved itself. So I have that one as well. But what I don't have on it, on the first video that I intended to produce, but thought that when my computer froze due to an ad, all right, gratuitous to the computer, I didn't put on the conversation with my neighbor Anne. Okay, so she came up behind me when I was in the gallery foyer area, and she asked me about the internet. Is it working there in the foyer in the gallery, but not in my apartment? And I said yes. And it's been that way for several days. And Anne was very agitated. In general, I would say when I meet her, I mostly hear her complaints. Okay. I hear about something she's not happy about. Regarding the internet conversation, she wanted to know. Sorry, I'm somewhere in between waking up and just realizing this was meta and I should document it. If someone else was shooting me on EarthCam, you would have it because I was producing a video while I was on EarthCam and I paused the video, but the broadcast went over EarthCam. So she wanted to know about the internet. Yes, I said, I know exactly when it happened, when we lost internet connection, because I was there. She's like, we're there, and I'm like, I was on my computer. I was on my computer when it just stopped. It stopped, and I had the feeling, I had the intuition, I had the knowledge, I had the knowing that this wasn't just a regular blip in service. I knew it was going to take, I knew to expect it was going to take some time to fix. So since I was there, I thought I would be the first person to call. Avesta, the landlord slash rental agency. So I did call, and Anne asked, how did that go? She said she called also, and I've met other people that said they called. So Do you want to know how it went? And somewhere in that conversation, and I said that, well, I spoke to the person on the other end. She's from another country. Okay, she has an accent, and I explained to her the internet's down, and she said I should call the internet service provider. But I'm like, the internet here at Oak Street Lofts is free, so therefore I'm calling you. Okay. I was indicating by implication, I made the call, I was there, I saw it go down, the internet connection, and I knew it wasn't a blip, okay? In service, I knew that I needed to the call Avesta, the provisioner, okay, and let them know to get on it to fix it. What else? I went to Canada and left Minnow in my apartment. So I was up at 5. Minnow got to pee at the very least. He didn't have to go. He didn't have to go number 2, so he didn't. But I left him in my apartment, and I put a note on my door letting people know. If Minnow barks, you can go in, because my door is always open. Because I don't like to fiddle with locks, honestly. Okay. And in fact, once someone locked my door because there was an apartment check or something, I'm like, holy hell, I don't know how to get in. I don't know how to unlock this door because I never lock it. Anyway. So I put a note on the door and it said, I'm in Canada for a tooth appointment. If Minnow is noisy or whatever, you can enter the apartment door. Of course you can. Well, Anne complained on me. Well, that's not the right action. And he did bark. I think she said she didn't hear him, but Richard McGilvery next door informed her that he heard Minnow barking. Which I think is interesting. Minnow never used to bark until Richard McGilvery asked to live next to me with his dog. And his dog barks all the time. Although I will say, I hear the dog less. And I notice he puts his dog in the car, at least this time of year, in the covered parking area. Anyway, Anne informed me that Richard McGilvery pointed out that my dog was barking at 8 in the morning. And my dog did poop in the apartment while I was gone, which for me emotionally is not a big deal in terms of this is my option. Find someone to take care of Minnow. Due to work scheduling and sleep scheduling, the person I would want to ask to take care of him, I didn't think that was a good match for his time and energy, Star. And because I take care of Star's cat when he's out of town, so, I'd be happy to ask Star, but he has a different sleep schedule and work schedule, and, I was gone from about 5 in the morning till about 3 or 4 in the evening due to getting lost. It would have been 3 easily had I not got lost on the way home because the GPS hit a dead zone. It had no connection. So I had no direction. Anne said, why don't you have someone watch your dog because that was not the right action. And I said, right after that, right on the heels of that, it was not the wrong action, okay? Anne said it was not the right action. I said, it's not the wrong action either. Okay? I didn't get anyone because I don't trust anyone. And why I don't trust anyone, and that is for me a general blanket statement. But if I were to break it down and back it up to go forward as well, it is this way. It is thusly. It's not a choice. It is not a choice for me to take care of myself self-sufficiently, okay? So for me to ask someone else for help, okay, watching my stewardship is to make my stewardship then independent on you. That's not self-sufficient with your own means in loving yourself and follow through either. And yet you make me want me to think that you are there for me, and therefore I should be responsible to you for pointing out that I did not do the right thing in my stewardship. I have no choice to be at this time to be self-sufficient among you that are not you, and you do not recognize my value. T0WHO. Debt, who hoed the debt? And odd, outer diameter, who hoed debt through and true? You, EWE, LEID. Okay? So I would say attitudinally, I give as a gesture, I give the benefit of the doubt always. I am not a person who doesn't trust, but I would say I do not trust in that way. When people are calling me into being accountable on their time in line, I'd say, you know what? I have a reservation, and that reservation at the heart of it is I don't trust you. I don't trust what you're asking me to do because you don't sustain me. You don't recognize the need to be of value and follow through. You're just a complainer all over the place that you manufacture to date. And then she was complaining about, she wanted to know, who do I speak to at Avesta? Because she's very upset that covered parking is first come, first serve. I was one of the first people to move into this building. So I have a covered parking spot. You get on the list, whatever. Anne's been here if she wasn't here in the very, very beginning of when this building was built and the first occupants moved in, for which I am one of them. She was there in the first year or two, I would say. Anyway, she's been here a while, and certainly she expressed that someone she said Tressa moved out and she had a parking spot, so Anne was watching it and was calling Tessa. Do you want to know, is it Tess or Tessa? I said, I think it's Tessa. So when Tressa moved out, Anne was calling Avesta and speaking to Tessa about, that parking spot, because certainly she's next, okay? She's been here that long when a parking spot was made available, and she called Tessa several times and inquiring about it, and they gave it to someone who's new here. And so and immediately I felt how incendiary, how inflamed her emotions were with just cause, okay? And also she's got a nice little car. I called it new. It's a little Fiat, kind of an olive shell color. I love the color of shell, shale, like dried mud. I don't know. I think it's a very nice, earthy, organic neutral. Anyway, I'm thirsty and I'm parched in the middle of the night. I said, "Yeah, you have a nice new little car." She's like, "No, it's 2 years old." And I'm like, "Well," I recounted. I'm like, "Never, never had a 2-year-old car that I purchased." Okay, never had a 2-year-old car, so that's really new. Okay. My parents purchased me a Ford Festiva, my first car, and I think it was $6,000 at the time. And that was after college, I think. I can't remember. She wanted to know who I speak to. I said, because she's like, she felt that Avesta wasn't getting back to her and that Tessa dropped the ball, and not, she'd been inquiring about that the next available parking space since it was exited by Tressa for several times in several weeks. And I said, I speak with Jess, and if not that, then I go directly to the top, and I can't remember that person's name, but I'd have to look it up on the website. So if I want to get something done, Jess, then straight to the top. She said that she either spoke or emailed Jess or Tessa, and they hadn't got back to her. And she complained about, why didn't they inform her, while she had called and asked about that parking spot and they gave it to someone else. Why didn't they even inform her? And then, of course, when they did call back, they're like, "Well, you're not on the list." And she's like, "I've been calling about this, being on the list, like, in the most recent past, and when Richard next door, who moved here after her, got the next parking spot." So she's miffed, she's upset, and then she was complaining about the association, the management. And I said, with my experience, I said, Jess, I said, sometimes between Jess and Tessa, they don't get a lot goes missing in the handoff, okay? And I said, further, I said, my experience with Jess is she drops the ball on wanting to finesse those details, okay? With with relations of the renters, okay? After the video, or say after Anne left, I do believe I speak about it in that video that, this is what's going on stereotypically. Avesta doesn't care about you, the renter, because you, the renter, put Avesta there to have a basically stupid petty job taking care of you while you complain on them, okay? All the time without ever being the time to value prime and dimed, okay, as an unnecessary and necessary void at the same time. So we're back to framework and fretwork. When you're looking at art, the positive content should be of equal value as the negative that's around it, okay? Meaning both contribute, positive and negative. I think I might be working through a sleeping pill too, so that's why I'm like, follow the thread, stay awake. What else was meta? I think that's it. She said, in the conversation, she let me know Richard complained to her about my dog barking. It didn't sound like she heard the dog barking until Richard complained to her about the dog barking, and which to me is typical Richard McGilvery. Um, um, she said she didn't know if he did anything or not. Well, I hadn't heard anything. Um, she I said I noticed he's. I don't know if I said it or not, but he looked like he's been hobbling around. And she said that that he had a knee surgery and then he got an infection. And I don't know if it's that or he's grown into some humility, but he's not going out of his way to grimace and growl at me every time he sees me, which is nice. He's dropping some theatrics. Or maybe he has some real injury to pay attention to now with his knee having infection. Basically, I expressed back to Anne that that's with all he's harassed me, all the harassment I've taken from him, you know, him having a knee surgery and getting an infection seems like a just reward for him. What else worked into the conversation? There's a man here from Serbia. Anne said so. He's from Serbia. I said, all I know is she says he doesn't communicate that well because I think she was asking him about the internet as well, if he was experiencing the internet not working. And she said that his wasn't working either, not in the apartment. Okay, so can't make the internet work in my apartment, but found out that I can make it work in the foyer. Okay, so I had said to her, I said, Every time I see that guy, that man, he's tall. He's really tall. He he doesn't really smile. He's always smoking outside, and if I see him inside in the hallway, it's just like with me and Minnow, he's just like he's gonna walk very. He's gonna walk right through us. Okay, and I expressed to Anne, it's like it's how I feel when I'm around him. Like his inner thought bubble is, I hate you. You know? So I don't, because she said she spoke with him and he was from Serbia. And I'm like, yeah, this is, I gather his thought bubble. And I'm like, I'm trying really hard not to have a conversation with you and to get out of your way. Okay. Because I just sense that you don't even see me, or you see me and it's just like you would like me out of your way. Okay. That's the vibe. I'm not saying, oh, he's generically unfriendly. I'm just saying, you know, I do not get, I don't get warmth and invitation from his vibe. I don't know if he's in pain. I don't know if he really can't stand women or something. Okay, you just feel it. Don't go there. Get out of his way. Okay, that's the best service you can provide. um, yeah, I wish I had put that on the video. But I realized that there was meta in that. In the middle of the night, in the sleep, with my sleeping pill, and I'm like, well, I don't want to wait till the morning. So I thought I would shoot the video now. And what else? Go back to sleep. I think that's it. Yeah, you know, it's interesting to think that perhaps Anne has earnest meta. Okay, there's another person here that I listen to who tells me stories, and I'm like, I gotta get you on tape on video, because I hear meta in the things she says, okay, in her experience. And generally because I've been in my comfort zone, speaking one on one to what is seemingly just myself at the very least, or zero. um, Zero to here, HEARO, road, to Chiro, CHEARODE, road, RHODE. Um, so I've been kind of insular in my value, my meta. I can work with it and matriculate it and make meaning with that. Pros and cons. I've not been stingy. It actually requires more energy to take in more people, okay? In terms of feeling for them this way, okay? I would say love is very it requires energy. So for me to feel for another is like, okay, I'm tracking this, and then to feel for another is like, oh, wow, okay, this is a lot more to track, especially when they're not on the same page. And to feel for another, it's like, okay, or are they really saying something here? Well, if you're really saying something here, I prefer that you be here, okay? And understand you need to be here, okay? It's like earlier in the day where I had a conversation and I'm like, ah, I gotta go because you're not honoring me in my time as my own value to sustainably relate. So this is just, you're just being a windbag over there. I'm being polite for you to force the S state and jest state that you ever cared, but you don't. I'm right here. You don't care, okay? And you're wasting my time. That you don't understand this and that. from and for any yet thing, okay, that isn't paying and playing to be in reception with your image, even. All right, I think I covered everything.